Dear student, after the completion of the topic about representation of the number on number line and absolute value of that integer, we may start the discussion about the addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of the integers. Children, in this regard, we may start also the discussion about the properties that we are going to start. Properties. What about the properties? Properties of the integers that will be closer. Commutative property, associative property, and distributive property. Before starting about the discussion about the addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of the integer, we may start the properties of integer, that is closure property, commutative property, associative property and distributive property. So this we can discuss over addition as well as subtraction as well as multiplication and division. This property we may discuss over these operators. Now today we will discuss the properties over addition. So today we are going to start properties of integer over addition. So this thing we are going to continue today. And in this regard, we will discuss about closure property, commutative property, associative property, and distributive property. So first, the number is coming closure property. Closure property. What is closure property? Closure property says that sum of two integers is always an integer. Sum of two integers is always an integer. This property says that if we will add two integers, then the result will always come an integer. That means sum of two integers will always be an integer. Suppose we take an example of add 3 and minus 5. These two are integer. 3 is a integer as a positive integer and 5 is a negative integer. We may see here, we can add it as 3 plus minus 5. Children, as we'll open the bracket, it will become 3 minus 5. Because plus and minus always gives you minus. So 3 minus 5 means what? 3 minus 5, we can't subtract 5 from 3. So we have to subtract 3 from 5. That we will get here 2. And as we can see here, before 5 there is minus and before 3 there is no symbol, so we may consider it as positive. So the answer will come, the bigger is 5 and before that minus is there, so for minus sign will be there, so minus 2 will be the answer. Children, we can see after adding 3 and minus 5 we are getting here minus 2. That is a number, negative integer. So I am repeating the concept again before continuing further, that in integer we started today addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of integer. In that, before starting the addition, we started the properties that is closure, commutative, associative and distributive properties. Properties of integer over addition will be closure property, that is sum of two integer is always an integer. That if we will add 3 and minus 5, we'll here get 3 plus minus 5, which will give us minus 2 as I told you. So now further we can continue. After the discussion of the closure property, we may start commutative property. That is, let a comma b are two numbers which belongs to y. This symbol we will read as belongs to. That is, a and b are two integers. We may write here a and let a and b are two integers. Suppose we get here a and b are two integers here. Then a plus b will always be equal to b plus a. That is, we can add integers in any order. We may see here with the help of an example. Suppose we are taking, let the value of a, that is an integer, is -5, and let the value of b, that is another integer, which is -4. We may add here -5 and -4 with the help of the commutative property. That means -5 and -4, and here -4 and -5. We may place here like this. We can place it like this. So you may see here -5 and -4 both having minus symbol, so for these will be added and we will get -4, and -4 and -5 both are negatives, so far we can add it as -9. We may see in both the sides we are getting -9. That means the addition, if you will start with -5 and -4, you will get -9, and if you will start with -4 and -5, you will again get -9. That is closure property verified. Now we may start the discussion about commutative property. So now we are going to discuss about associative property. Children's, in commutative property, we have to consider two numbers, but in associative property, we have to consider three numbers. Let a, b, c are three integers. A, comma, b, comma, c are three integers. If a, b, and c are three integers, we may add these integers by grouping a plus b plus c and a plus b plus c. That means we may add these integers in these groups, either a plus b plus c or a plus b plus c. That means here the order is a plus b, here the order is b plus c. We may add the integers in any group. We can illustrate it with an example. If the value of a is -4, value of b is -2, and value of c is 5, then whether we can verify this property, I'm going to take the left hand side of this, that is a plus b and plus c. The value of a we may substitute here, the value of b we may substitute here as well. The value of c will become 5. 4 minus 2, which will give you -6 and 5. So for students, -5 and -6 and -5 will give you -1, because here -6 is bigger, and before that minus is there, and from 6 we will subtract 5, we will get -1. Now we may take the right hand side of that. Right hand side is what? A plus b plus c. It must be clear, this is left hand side and this is right hand side. Here a plus b plus c. The value of a is -4, the value of b is -2, and the value of c is 5. So far you will get -4 in one bracket, in another bracket 5 minus 2 will be subtracted, you will get 3. So you will get here -1. This is the right hand side. You may see here we are getting from left hand side -1 as well as -1 from right hand side. So for associative property is verified. Now we may start the discussion about distributive property. Children, it must be noted that the distributive property is always having two operators, that is plus or multiply or minus or multiply. So I'm going to check on plus. Distributive property. In distributive property, let a comma b comma c are three integers. Then a multiplied by b plus c will always give you a multiplied by b plus a multiplied by c. We can confirm it with the help of an example. You may see here in the distributive property, when A is multiplied by B plus C, you are grouping A plus B here and A into C here, and in between that there is plus. So I am illustrating it with the help of an example. If the value of A is minus 5, the value of B is 4, the value of C is minus 8, then we can verify with the help of an example taking in left hand side. Children, due to lack of time, we will continue it in our next class. Thank you very much.